Hello, year 8. Today we're going to have a look at solving more complex equations. So last week you had a look at solving equations with just the variable on one side and then the variable on two sides. This week we're going to have a look at some more complex iterations of that. So let's have a quick start by looking at this. This is something we looked at this week, so it's just a quick recap. So we're going to solve the equation 9y plus 3 equals 5y plus 13. So I'm just going to copy that down here. Okay, and I'm going to use the arrows. I'm going to see what I can do. So as I was looking at last week, I want to get y just on one side. So which side has the least amount of y? So the smallest coefficient. Well, it's this 5y here. Okay. So on this side, I'm going to minus 5y. So on this side as well, I'll subtract 5y. Okay. So I get 4y plus 3 equals 13. Okay. Now it's a nice simple equation with only with one variable, so I'll subtract 3 from both sides. Okay, and get 4y equals 10, and then divide by 4. Okay, hopefully that's a nice little recap of what we did last week. On to some more complex examples then. Alright, and really these are maybe just one or two more steps that you need to look at before you get to where you were last week. Alright, so this one here, what's the difference then? Well, this time we've got brackets. So instead of just having 5y minus 13 equals 9y plus 2, okay, I've now got some brackets here. So one thing the way I can look at this is I can expand those brackets. So I get 3t plus 27 equals 2t minus 16. And now you should be able to recognize that's something you did last week. Okay, and so it's just that extra little step that you need to look at there. So I can subtract 2t from both sides. So I get t plus 27 equals minus 16. Okay. I then subtract 27 from both sides. I get t equals minus 43. And there's my answer. So actually quite simple once you get it into this stage. Okay. So it's just coming down from here that's the hard part. Other than that, your overall objective is to try and get it into something that looks like this, okay? Because you know how to do these, and you can then bring it down into here. Okay, let's have a look at this one then. So in the last example, I did say that we want to expand the brackets. Now, if you expand the brackets here, you're going to end up with lots of little fractions that aren't going to be very nice. They're going to make it a bit more complicated to solve this. So what I could do is actually, if I multiply this by 3, okay, and multiply this side by 3, I will get 2 open brackets x plus 8 equals 3 lots of this side, which is x minus 2. Okay, and now it's exactly the same as this, and the working is going to be the same. Okay, so I get 2x plus 16 equals 3x minus 6. Okay, I can subtract 2x from this side, so I get 16 equals x minus 6, so therefore I subtract 2x from this side as well. I can then add 6x to both sides, so I get 22 equals x, and then just the way I like to write them is to have x equals 22 as my answer there. Okay, hopefully that's nice and clear. So we're going to have a quick look at this one. So now we've got a squared in here, all right? A bit more of a challenge, but it still works exactly the same way that you would have done any other equations. we want to get the term with the variable on its own on one side. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is we'll add 21 to both sides. So I get 4t squared equals 79 plus 21 is 100. Alright? And then again, the same thing, you want to get the variable. Now that I've got the term with the variable on its own, I want to get the variable on its own. So I can get t squared. And by doing that, I've divided this by 4. So I'll divide 100 by 4 to get 25. And now, I know that t squared equals 25. So in order to get from t squared to t, I square root this side. Okay. So here, I will have 5. However, it's not just 5. It is plus 5 or minus 5. If I think minus 5 times minus 5, so minus 5 squared, equals, well, it's 25, and because these are two negatives multiplying together, I end up with a positive, so I get 25. And then also, I have 5 times 5 equals 25. Okay, so t will equal plus 5 or t equals minus 5. And a way we can write that quickly is how I've done it here. So t equals plus or minus 5. We can write t equals plus or minus 5. Right, so you've just got, it's just that extra little step with the t squared to square root it at the end, but you need to make sure that the t is on its own when you're doing that. Okay. Right then, that's everything for this lesson. It was quite a quick one, but it's just at that extra little edge of complexity, okay? And it's just making sure you can try and, it's that first little stage of getting it from something that looks quite complex to maybe just expanding some brackets or multiplying by a certain number, and then starting to look at the squares and making sure that when you have a square, you're probably going to get two solutions to it. So a positive solution and maybe a negative solution as well. Okay, so it's been making sure that you write both of those, because that's the way you're going to get the full marks in a question. If you had just written, so if I go back, if you just written 5 for this, you wouldn't have had all the marks, because you need to make sure you include that minus 5 as well. So over to you. I want you to complete exercise 15C on page 264 of the Year 8 book, which is on Insight in your in student resources. Okay, question 3, question 4, and question 5. Write out each question at the start. If you think back right to the first slide we looked at, even though I had the question written out, I wrote it out again just to start my working. Alright? So write out each question. Show your workings clearly using the arrow. So I've divided by 4 on this side, I've got to divide by 4 on the other side. Okay? And then hand your workings to teams. Okay? So take a photograph of your work and hand that in on the assignment that your teacher will have set up. Okay, thank you for listening. Have a good rest of the week.